Welcome back to the Rod Shop. Today we're going to talk a little bit more about epoxy ramps. Y'all stick around. This rod, I put my first coat of epoxy on my guides. This is the Voodoo rod. You guys have seen this. And I still have epoxy left over. And that epoxy is about 14 minutes old right now. Now, since I put it in this aluminum foil, I have extended the pot life of this epoxy, which I could probably still work this stuff 25, maybe 30 minutes because it's 73 degrees in the rod shop here. It's optimal temperature. I mixed it thoroughly. I spread it out. It started its basic set, but as you can see, it is still very pliable. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of a flatter epoxy ramp in the split grip area here, and then also just in front of the reel seat. Now, the key to doing this kind of epoxy ramp is timing on your epoxy. And what you want it to do is you want to be able to pick up a pretty good glob and it hold and then slowly drip off. We still have a few minutes here, but here's the technique. You're not actually painting the epoxy on in the area that you want the epoxy ramp. What you're going to do is you're going to load your brush way too heavy, spin it as you bring it up, and then you're going to let it basically drip into the area that you want your ramp. And you just keep loading it while it's in your dryer. Now, one of the reasons I wanted this heavier duty ramp here is you may be able to start to see the color switch from black to blue because epoxy is going to magnify it. It's like glass. Now, this is not my final coat of epoxy, so I'm not trying to build this ramp all the way up. But what I'm going to do is it's starting to drip off the bottom, and I just picked it up with my brush and I'm kind of holding it, kind of moving it, the glob of epoxy off to the left back towards that butt grip, and I'm going to load again and just drag. I'm really not even touching the epoxy, it's just hanging on to the brush. I'm going to start this one up here. Just dripped it off. There's your first drip. Another one going here. Again, I'm just loading my brush and dripping. I still got plenty of time on this epoxy because it's still a little loose. And all you have to do is manipulate the dripping epoxy with your brush and kind of push it in the direction that you want it to go, and let the turning do the leveling for you. Yeah, that's it. This one's gonna shape up fine. This one's already getting its own shape here. One thing you need to be careful of is if you're going to develop a large bubble air pocket, it's going to happen here in the next 20-30 minutes. While this epoxy's still moving around, it may just catch an air pocket. So just keep an eye on it. The worst case is you stop it from turning, you let it run off, and you do it again. Or you can put a little heat on it. But that's it for epoxy ramps. They're a piece of cake. It's all about timing. And just play with it. And again, don't be afraid to take it off, turn it off, put some heat on it, let it all run off, and start again. This is really spice up the look of your rod, in my opinion. And it's pretty simple to do. Well, there you go. That is the basics of epoxy ramps. So, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.